Hi everyone, I'm Rodolfo Feliciano. Uh, this week, for the last project that we have going on, we have three different topics, and I chose the protein topic. One of the reasons why I chose this topic is because myself, I'm actually going through a diet which involves more protein than what usually I eat on a daily basis than carbs. So going through it, I'm gonna start it off with some notes on why protein is so important. So protein is roughly 20% of the human body. So if you put in perspective, what makes 20% of your body being protein is something that is really important in our health life. So other stuff going on is something that will help you lose or gain weight. It just depends on what your goal is. So that'll be how you gotta treat how many meals, how many protein per day you're gonna eat, and all that stuff. Involving the calories, which is something else, but depending on your goal of losing or gaining weight is the amount of protein that you're supposed to have per day. Another stuff will be protein is something that builds and repair tissues. Is something that helps the body structure and help us work on different functions on the actual body. And one of the good notes that I took from this project is that it's the only macronutrient that contains nitrogen, which nitrogen makes up approximately 16% of the weight. So now that I already talked a little bit and some notes on why protein is so important for us, I'm gonna go ahead and go with the next topic, which is what is the amount of protein an athlete should have per day. First thing first, I'm gonna start like this. Depending on the outcome and the goal that the athlete is trying to get from the workouts, it's the goal, it's the setup that we're gonna have daily for its protein and everything else. So keeping this in mind, if we're looking to build up mass or maintain mass muscle, stuff like that, so what is recommended is around 1.4 to 2 grams per kilograms of his body weight. So you gotta switch that from your pounds to kilograms and then multiply it by 1.4 all the way up to you can multiply by 2.0. It just depends on what is the outcome and the goal that you're trying to reach with that athlete, or that athlete is trying to take out from himself. We all know, like I already said, this is something that helps you building or repairing tissues. So once you come out of the gym, for example, if you're working out of the gym, you're doing weights, strength conditioning, stuff like that, it is good for you to actually go ahead and take some protein. If you do supplements, make sure it should be from 20 to 40 grams per serving. So that is kind of like the goal you're trying to put in your body after you work out. Another stuff that you should actually have a note on how many calories per day you're gonna have. So for example, I'm 180, let's say I'm 180, I'm trying to build, I'm trying to lose weight, and I'm trying to get to 120 grams per day. I'm just saying a random number out there. If it's 120 per day, make sure you evenly distribute that dose of protein throughout every meal. So for example, myself, I do breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, and snack. So I kind of like divide all those 120, 135 grams per day of protein throughout all those meals. I know some meals are gonna have more protein, some meals are gonna have less. It just, make sure you tweak however you gotta tweak, that way you can meet the goal. And going on some recommendations regarding the optimal protein intake for an athlete when it comes to the MPS, the muscle protein synthesis. This is something that actually it has to be, like I said before, guided towards the goal of that athlete, but the average amount will be 0.25 grams per kilogram of his weight. So like I said again, you just gotta make that math, make sure you have all those grams of protein for your meals. And like I said, this is something that can help you either lose gain, maintain weight. So this is one of the main things that we need in our meals, so that we can actually get towards that goal and achieve to that goal that we set up once we started the meal prep, that diet, or the meal plan that you have set up either yourself or with your strength and conditioning coach or with your nutritionist. So it's something really important that we gotta take and make sure that we know how many grams we're gonna take from each meal, that we can actually have it distributed. So given that I already talked about why it's important, the protein in the human body, I already talked about the roughly amount that we're supposed to have for athletes set up on a daily basis, protein grams per day on their meals, stuff like that. I'm going to go ahead and go to the last stuff that I'm going to talk about protein, which this is sources of protein. And this is a good one that catch me, because even though I've done some readings here and there beforehand, it's something that caught my eye and gave me more knowledge on if I really want to go on a plant-based diet or why not, and stuff like that. So to start off, I'm going to start saying that animal-based protein is the most complete protein that you're going to get out there. And plant-based protein, most of them are incomplete. There's some exceptions like soy, which is a complete nutrient for protein, and it's a plant-based one. And when we talk about gelatin, it's something that it doesn't give you the complete portion of a protein, which is incomplete for being an animal-based. But after I talk, now that I gave you something about animal and plant-based, so plant-based is something that is 50% protein is obtained from the plant. So we already know that it's not 100%, but a plant-based diet is something that is 50% of the protein comes from the plant. When we talk about vegan, it's something that is all the proteins that you're gonna get as a vegan, it'll be like non-animal products. All the animal products will be eliminated from your diet. And when we talk about the lacto-ovo-vegetarian, we're talking about all the animal is out, all the animal product is out except the eggs and the dairy. So when you go ahead and do your research, you can actually decide which of all these options that we have out there you can actually take on. Like I said, it's something that opened my mind, because I wanted to do plant-based, but once we actually came into this class, did a little research, I read more articles that were more specific. He told me, you know, I want something that is high in protein and is complete in protein. So I just gotta do some tweaks here and there on protein and amino acids. Supplements, they do not enhance exercise performance and do not promote a gain in muscle mass any more than what a protein obtained from food will do for you. So basically what I'm trying to say here is that supplements, yes, they're good and they will help you out, but when you obtain all this protein, amino acids, carbs, whatever you need to obtain for your body, when you get it from food, is the best way that your body will respond to it. So if you go ahead and ask if a protein powder is better than getting protein from actual food, you know, like I said again, it's something that depending on your goal as an athlete is what gonna determine if you actually need or you don't need supplements. So again, it'll be up to you. Sources: hamburger patties, lentils, eggs, you name it. Eggs, and you name it. There's a lot of sources out there that where you can get and obtain protein. Like I said again, us as a human, we don't need just supplements and be like, okay, so if I don't get this supplement of protein, my body is not going to be on the optimal performance or shape that I want it, or here and there. So like I said again, protein food derived from the food is a lot more quality towards your body than what supplements will do. Not disregarding supplements, I get supplements here and there, I get protein. It just depends if I'm actually going towards the gym and working out, doing weights, or if I'm just running and doing stuff like that. So like I said, it's something that has to be determined by the goal you want as an athlete. And since we gotta be creative, and this is something that I wanted to add on to my presentation as a last thing that I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna provide you and show you with a meal that I set up towards the end of the day, which is the meal for today that I'm gonna have at the end of the day. It has roughly, let's say, around 30-ish grams of protein, give or take. So I haven't had the amount of protein I'm supposed to actually get throughout the day. So here I added more than what I usually have on the plate. And so here I have the tilapia, the quinoa rice, and a cup of broccoli. So like I said, it's something that's healthy. It gives me the amount of protein that I want for this meal. Like I said, it has like 11 per tilapia, so here I got 22. Let's say a cup of broccoli has 2.5 grams. Let's say a cup of rice has 7 grams. So like I said, it'll give you around 30-ish, give or take, amount of protein grams that I have for this plate. And like I said, make sure if you want to get towards your goal, you have to keep the count of the amount of protein that you're taking per meal. So I know there's a lot of snacks out there. You have, like I said, you have some different snacks. Cheese strings have like 6 grams of protein. Some turkey ham gets like, let's say 2 of them give you like 7 or 9, give or take. You have almonds. We have a lot of options out there for snacks. So make sure we're actually taking care of our body because this is what's gonna help us out on the long run. Stay healthy out there and be safe. Good night.